time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it. Consider this mercy.
Tell me. Do you bleed? You will.
And welcome to another edition of the Qatar Lal podcast. And it's a weekend uh, today here in the Philippines. So let's see the chat. We have Dreamy and Harley. Hello. How, how is it? So we'll be featuring the Eternals from the year 2021, the watch along. Dreamy said it's Thursday over here in the America. Yeah, we're the time difference is outstanding. Before we start the watch along, we're on the road to 500 subs, and the replay crew are most welcome. Thank you for subscribing to this channel, and thank you for those who will subscribe and continue to support us. Uh, we're in the road to 500 subs, so it's still a long road. Well, let's see what happens uh, next time, in a few days, in a few months, the next year. I hope people will like, subscribe, and share this channel. So we have the Eternals, and the Eternals is a 2021 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics race, uh, The Eternals, produced by Marvel Studios and distributed by Walt Disney's Motion Pictures. Yeah, this stars Gemma Chan, Richard Madden, Kumail Nanjiani, Lia McHugh, Brian Tyree Henry, Lauren Ridloff, Barry Keoghan, Don Lee, Kit Harington, Salma Hayek, and Angelina Jolie. Somehow, this is considered a flop. What's a flubber? So we have Sin Havoc in the chat. Civilization after the Great Flood. Good evening, good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Sin, as usual, and we'll start our watch along. And this is on Disney Plus and any other streaming services out there. And we'll start. Make sure everything is your player is on zero. Let's start in five, four, three, two, and one. Play. So, in the beginning, before the six singularities and the dawn of creation came, the celestials. Arishan, the prime celestial, created the first sun and brought light into the universe. Life began and thrived. All was in balance until an unnatural species of predator emerged from deep space to feed on intelligent life. They were known as Deviants, the universe was plunged into chaos. To restore the natural order, Arishem sent Eternals, immortal heroes from the planet Olympia, to eliminate the Deviants. Eternals have unyielding faith in Arishem until one mission, led by the Prime Eternal Ajax, changed everything. Okay. Dreamy and Hardy said, "Yeah, we're totally different times in here because if you're saying good morning, then that must mean we're in a different time zone. It's Thursday, 8 a.m. at night for me. Yeah, it's 9:39 a.m. down here." And Brogu, did somebody say Angelina Jolie? Hi, Brogu. Yes, we did. So the Eternals has a budget of 236.2 million, and the box office was only 402.1 million. So uh, this is a flop. Honestly, this was a flop. Welcome to the Rose Along. Sinhavok says, "You're about to get a reality check on history. Old Sumeria. This is 5000 BC, Mesopotamia. This is red tea. Very good. Oh man, the VFX of this movie looks like uh, what? Technically good. There's Icarus, Richard Madden, Dreamy and Hardy. I'm more of a DC fan than a Marvel. I try to balance out the movies and the comic I read, but I'm more of a DC fan. If you see my shelf in my old room, plus the boxes somewhere here, a lot of DC comics. Okay, Sin Havoc says T is awesome. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's Angelina Jolie. She plays Tina. I guess I would say I'm more of a DC fan as well. We're all more DC fan, but honestly, man, if you stick with one brand, you'll get mental damage. Honestly, Sin Havoc says uh, balanced. I'm balanced with DC and Marvel comics. Yeah, as it should be, and we'll add a few Image, Dark Horse. What else? All those indie titles. I only like two characters from Marvel: Scarlet Witch and her son. Which son? Dreamy. So Tina is, of course, Athena, and they're from the planet Olympia. So this is Greek mythology. Barry Keoghan is Druig. He manipulates the mind of others. Reminds you of someone? Weaken. Yeah, it's Weaken. And there's also that guy with the super speed, the twin. But Weaken and his brother was created by the Scarlet Witch through her chaos magic or abilities. Brogu said, "Don't get me wrong, I like both DC and Marvel." Yeah. Okay, I saw a clip this just a few hours ago. It's bad news for Captain America 4. They I don't know, man. The China poster for Captain America Brave New World has more Red Hulk than uh, Falcon, the Falcon cap. Yes, weaken and speed. This is the second movie that Gemma Chan appeared in. She plays Cersei in this movie, and she also appeared in Captain Marvel. So, is that a sign that fund funding problem, or did they not have enough artists? Dreamy and Harley says the only reason I like DC because my friend is becoming a writer for DC soon. She called up DC and asked for a job, and she showed her art gallery on Instagram. She's a little shy to share it, so all right, maybe we're eager to check out what your friend is gonna write. Brogu said they shrunk Captain America just like they shrunk John Boyega in the Star Wars poster. China can be very racist. They are. And the fact that China is roaming around in Philippine territory says it all. Dreamy said she's going to write The Lioness. She just wants to be original. I'm trying to help her with her ideas. The Lioness, where will she appear? What comic? We have two Game of Thrones alumnus in this movie, Kit Harington and Richard Madden. The VFX looks so so. Sin Havoc has this revelation. Gemma Chan signed on for both Cersei and Dr. Minerva at the same time. Hoarding, hoarding comic book roles. What the hell? Dreamy and Hardy said, no, it's an original theme in the DC Comics. She wants to have Starfire, Raven, Dreamer, Hawkgirl, Vixen, and probably Cheetah on the team. Okay, that sounds good. I hope her the best of uh, the Lord's blessing in her endeavor. Man, Starfire, Raven, Dreamer, Hawk Girl. Man, I don't know, man. The last Hawk Girl comics was not so good, in my opinion. Sin Havoc. So she was going to play two different characters, regardless. Cheetah is usually a villain. Yeah, well, nope, no fart. That was a burp. I'm drinking tea. Brogu says there are projects that are being done in Africa by the Chinese. There was a Chinese restaurant that refused to serve the Africans. The Africans closed down the restaurant and sent them back to China. Don't believe the hype of China. They're still in the Stone Age back. Everything they have is a copy of Western ideas. There is one movie I would like to do a watch along. The one with what's his name? Ben Affleck's partner. The one in Made in China with aliens and such. Another flop, if I do say so. Dreamy. And Harley says, I also know Cheetah's usually a villain, but my friend has the idea to make Cheetah a part of this new government squad. Mm. These are deviants. And look at that. The VFX is very reminiscent of James Gunn's Marvel works. Sinavok says, Suicide Squad 4.0, probably. I don't know, man. They should have made Project X to Project Z zombies. Lia McHugh as Sprite. Man, the only thing I hate really in this movie was they gender swap Makari. In the comics, uh, Makari is a male with super speed, and in the 80s he appeared with Quasar. Now in this movie they use Lauren Ridloff to play the super speedster godlike creature. Dreamy and Narcissus. I'm still waiting for Dreamer to get more shows like Creature Commandos. Fingers crossed. Did she appear in Creature Commandos? I don't know. I haven't finished watching that show. It's a hard show to watch, honestly, in my opinion. And HBO Max has aired the new Hellboy movie, The Crooked Man. That movie was good. I watched it a few months ago. And the Stark brothers reunite. Dane Whitman is, of course, the Black Knight, who happened to be a member of the Avengers in comics. Creature Commandos, no! Dreamy by? Why? Gemma Chan has a bigger role here in the Eternals. She was used sparingly in Captain Marvel, the first Captain Marvel movie. Brugus says, bye, Dreamy and Harley. Did she go? I don't know. Sin Havoc, much bigger role in Eternals. And Dreamy. I'm I am very unpopular opinions. I'm so well. Your opinions are basically mainstream right now. It's not that unpopular, especially in today's comic world, especially DC, who still has uh, DEI. I don't think Dreamy will be going anywhere soon. Kit Harington is a short guy, but he did have a very good role in Game of Thrones as Jon Snow and Aegon Targaryen. Uh, Dreamy and Hardy, so you don't think that she will be getting any new projects? I think DC has a working for DC has a she has a better chance of make doing her project. Honestly, she's her project sounds good considering, but I'm uh, I'm technically a Hawk Woman fan. Hawk Girl is Kendra Saunders is kind of uh, you know not for me. And we have AP on the chat. Hello. DC requires a complete script for a new project. Whether or not you get an editor to support you is another matter. I've been reading all those commentaries for years, man. For years. Gilgamesh. I guess I'm going to have to wait a long, long time for Dreamer to come. This is something new. I'm going to be 50 and still waiting. Well, it's all about uh, if the project is good and an editor willing to support you. That's it. I remember the time when DC during the 80s, DC features the DC showcase where they featured new and upcoming talents, both in writing and in art. I hope they still have that program. Salma Hayek as Ajax. So this is another race gender swap. I think can't remember. I have a few Eternal comics, so I don't know. Brogu, yes, Jon Snow. Winter is coming. Of course. Remember the Avengers in what year was that? During or before the pandemic, when they have the Avengers base as the celestial, the celestial beings. It's so weird that Tony Stark and the rest of the Avengers had used a celestial body as their base of operations. Was it Jason Aaron or somebody else? I don't know. I can't remember. Get a life. Don Lee plays Gilgamesh. Kumali Nanjiani as Kingo. Brian Tyree Henry as Phatos. The fact that the Eternals had their movie and the New Gods didn't is a disappointment for me. We have Sergeant Giratina, Evening Brogu Qatar, Dreamy, and AP. Yeah. Jack Kirby is probably the artist with most characters transformed from comics to films. Love the new profile pic. Brogu, let me give you a helping hand. Yep, there it is. Subscribe to Brogu. I remember in the Avengers book during the 80s, they killed off Gilgamesh somehow when he was a member of the Avengers. Gilgamesh and Cersei were members of the Avengers back in the 80s. Sergeant Giratina says, let's also give our new friend, Dream and Harley, some help too. Yep. Support these guys on YouTube. I mean, like, that's what we do, right, Sergeant? So they made Makari into deaf, a deaf mute, or just a mute. I can't. The director of the Eternals is this Chinese director, Chloé Zhao, who I think China banned for some reason. Well, China censored the Eternal as well as Shang-Chi and the Legends of the Ten Rings. Man, Zhao has became an unexpected persona non grata after she was scrutinized by Chinese netizens on her remark in a 2013 interview with Filmmaker magazine, where she describes China as a place where there are lies everywhere. I agree with her view. I agree that China is a place of lies. And they want to conquer the region and the world, considering there are about 2 billion or more people in China. The 2 billion are those registered only. How about the unregistered? They have a one child policy, and somehow everyone is okay with that. That's what will they do with the rest of the children there? And the ordinary Chinese citizen are in poverty. That's why they want to expand their territory with Taiwan. If you know history, Taiwan was originally uh, a province of the mainland China before Mao Zedong and his communist freaking army invaded, conquered the mainland, and Taiwan, Formosa back then, was Chiang Kai shek's remaining territory. Brogu says, "Hey Qatar, do you remember a cartoon that came before our outback in the day called Wildcats?" Yep, Jim Lee's uh, Image, originally Image Comics, then later DC's Wildstorm imprint, and later on, uh, DC. It's actually DC now. It was supposed to be kind of like X-Men. Yes, it was. And a lot of Image comics in the 90s were a ripoff of the X-Men. You have Wildcats, you have Wetworks, you have Cyberforce. What else? You have the one from Larry Stroman. But Wildcats now are with DC Comics, mainstream DC Comics, the main continuity. What with the grifter in Batman, uh, and who's that enemy in Superman L? That that lady is from Image Comics. Stormwatch, I think. Remember, Image Comics was formed as an answer to Marvel Comics. Yeah, I kid you not. All those very cool Marvel artists uh, transferred to Image. They wanted more control of their characters. That's why Todd McFarlane had Spawn, Liefeld has his Brigade, Youngblood, blah blah blah. So many characters, Supreme, and yeah. Then later on, they went their separate ways with, I think, McFarlane and had a fight with uh, Rob Liefeld. Our timestamp is 33 minutes and 14 seconds. And Brogu. They were supposed to do a young blood cartoon similar to Young Wildcats back in the 90s, but that project never uh, was never made. But Ultra Force was made at the same time. Brogu says, "Yes, I remember Wetworks. I think I have some comics stored up somewhere of Wetworks. Yeah, it was drawn. It was illustrated by Wilse Protasio in the first few issues, a Filipino artist that came with uh, the Image 7. Man, this is a history lesson. This part, we have pyramids burning. There's Tina. They don't interfere in war. Okay. Do you think this is the best scene for Angelina Jolie? Drogo said, "Do you remember SWAT cats?" Technically, yes. I'm I started rewatching SWAT cats a few years ago. Haven't finished it yet. Hey, Sin, do you see the hieroglyphics in these buildings that in this building? Or this is the eternal ship, right? Marvel has a lot of character groups like the Eternals, the Inhumans, the Mutants, the Domo. Yes, the Domo is the Eternal ship that rectangular shape, much like the cylinder shape space debris heading towards our solar system. It's actually a triangle. Hmm. Sergeant and Sinava. Sinhavok said with a rectangular weight. Yeah. Sergeant Gertina says, I saw an episode of SWAT Cats once. They fly their airplane jet, their cat jets. Sinhavok says it's an Anunnaki ship, and a great reveal will happen within the next few years. First of all, they're opening up the JFK files. That will be interesting. What will be the effect in the modern world if they open that file? Then the UFO files will be revealed. Now that's interesting. Uh, I think it is written somewhere. The Bible actually mentions the book of Enoch in the Epistle of Jude. Can you believe that? Those aren't the only files that they're opening, says Sin. Yeah, lots of files will be opened. So buckle up. We need to buckle up. Okay, this is like Bollywood presentation. Man, they did this stuff like they also did this stuff with Miss Marvel. If they're opening the JFK, the UFO files, they have to be opened as well. Yeah, that's and we have integrity with the fist bump. Hiya, integrity. Guess what's inevitable? Man, they also did this dancing dance routine in the Legends of Tomorrow plus uh I don't know, man. The Marvels. Yeah. Hello, integrity. JFK have UFO stuff in it. Boom. Integrity says, "What's up, chat? Bro Goose and Sergeant. We're doing our watch along for Eternals 2021. Our timestamp is 44 minutes and 55 seconds." Brogu said, "Integrity, I bought a Slayer album today." Nice. Sin Havoc says, "Bollywood is a multi-million dollar business." Integrity Integrity says, "Brogu, which one?" And yeah. Brogu said, It's a live album from 1990, Slayer Decade of Aggression. Yeah. So this movie is not linear. Thought so. 7,000 years. Kumali Nanjiani also appeared in Obi-Wan. He also co-starred with Dave Bautista in the movie Stubber. Sinavo says, Qatar, did you see the Lamasus in the scenes of the past in the Eternal movie? Man, it's past. Maybe if I watch that scene again, I'll notice it. And someone's ringing the doorbell. Sorry about that. My wife's student assistant just handed me some documents. So Brogu. Integrity says, Brogu, that's actually a legendary live album. Great choice. It was released at the perfect time. Also, it came directly after arguably their third best albums. Enjoy. Brogu says, Integrity, you're right. It came after those albums. Plus, I almost live albums. Yeah, Sin, I noticed that the statues right outside of Babylon. Those live albums are classic. The fearsome Gilgamesh. Integrity said, Brogu, me too. I love the energy of live performances. Yep. So the Eternals scattered during their time in a few years ago. Ajax is dead. So Gilgamesh and Nimrod, the Sumerian version of Noah, same people, according to Sin Havoc, throughout the world. Yeah, they did. The rule of three. Yeah, that's what uh, we're following. So basically, the rule of three. When Justice League 2 and 3 comes out, that's the rule of three. Sergeant Girtina says, "Take care, guys." Yeah, later, Giratina. Later, man. And good night, your time. The legendary defender of Athens. That's what Mufasa said to Simba. Remember who you are. So Gilgamesh and Tina. What the hell? So this is supposed to be a serious film, and somehow Marvel crept in with their sense of humor. They're hamsters, man. Gemma Chan has a bigger role here. Really, that's obviously obvious. Ah, man. Yes, she does. Yes, she does. Lots of disturbances. today. It's it's a weekend here, so well, the emergence. Man, what emergence? They're going to destroy the earth somehow. Crap. Synopsis. Arasham is going to explain the Garden of Eden resets. Yeah, he's explaining. So this is the reason why the MCU is bringing in Galactus. There is no Olympia. Uh, the Celestials destroyed Olympia. Exactly. The Word Forge, the Garden of Eden, the Rabbit Hole, and Brogu is scared. What the hell? Yes, in a matter of speaking, this can't be. It turns out I know more about the new gods than I knew about the Eternals, considering creation, genetic manipulation, and experimentation. Each emergence, genetic splicing. Man, The deviants are predators themselves. The gods made us in their image. The prime eternal. Man. Timestamp 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 32 seconds. Eternals and deviants, two warring sides. Brogu says, I feel like I'm the result of genetic splicing. I did the DNA test and I'm from all over Europe and Africa. Anunnaki versus Egidio. Ah man, that was this is supposed to be bigger, and I'm disappointed that they didn't continue with this storyline in other Marvel films. I mean, honestly, uh, Asgard is samples of Eternals, including the Greek gods, old gods versus new gods. And yes, Sin Havoc says, so am I. Very, very disappointed. Yeah. Could have been dope. And it could have honored Jack Kirby's legacy. The Amazon. The Amazon River, if you explore it, uh, there are these molds, well, you know, where someone live somehow. Brogu said it would have been nice if they continued on with this storyline in some Marvel movies. Yes, it would have. And Sin Havoc says the only character that Marvel Studios cared about was that pathetic Spider Man. Well, Spider Man is their number one character, and somehow they try to destroy that character in comics and in movies. The Amazon River is actually a part of Tau Taucon. And Sin Havoc says, but Spider-Man's rights are still with Sony. I think, yeah, the film rights. Actually, I think there's sabotage afoot since Sony doesn't want to sell back the rights. The Marvel fans are trying to usurp Sony's right to own those characters. Hence, we have uh, we have Spider Madame Web out there, also Venom, which was a good movie actually. All three films, and what else? Craven the Hunter. I need to watch Craven the Hunter. Brogu said, Qatar earlier we were talking about Wildcats. Do you think it would have been great if they made a movie about Wildcats? Honestly, yes. It's about the Caribbean race versus the Demonites. So basically, it's sort of a celestial thingy with angels and demons. But Jim Lee doesn't know how to write. He's great an artist as an artist, but the writer of Wildcats, only Alan Moore wrote them correctly back in their image days. Honestly, Sinhavo, I think Disney is going to buy Sony wholesale within 2 or 3 years. Man, is that legal? Honestly, that's totally a monopoly if that happens, right, Sin? That's why they tried not to sell uh, Warner Bros. Sinavo says the Venom movies are horrible. Such potential, but Venom was wasted. And Sony CEO admitted that. Well, they need some scapegoat, but uh, I still find the Venom trilogy as good. Although, uh, would have been better if there's someone who plays Venom. Uh, but yeah, I think Tom Hardy is good as Venom, Eddie Brock, because of his size. Although he's just as tall as me, but he's buffier than me. Sinava, Disney can buy Sony wholesale, but I think Sony will be sold in parts as well. Well, honestly, man, it's like, why are they promoting monopolies? Who's who's behind them? Who are these oligarchs and elites? Well, Tom Hardy is short. Dude is short. Yeah, I know, but he's just as tall as me. And they did in the 1980s. They portrayed Nightwing as short, as a short guy, and Jason was taller. Imagine that. Vanguard and BlackRock, those agents, those companies who happens to be in the headlines now, man. Tom Hardy's buff. He could have played a good Wolverine, because Wolverine is small. Brogu said, "Can you imagine a great writer for a Wildcats movie, and the director would be Zack Snyder? I think I just came up with a great idea. Can somebody get Zack on the phone for me?" And the new hashtag, Qatar is Venom. Oh my God. Who was the first one who became Venom in Spider-Man 3? Uh, he did a Venom, but he was not as big as Eddie Brock in the comics. Sin Havoc says Tom Hardy as Wolverine would be interesting. Yes, and the height is definitely a plus for Tom Hardy, because honestly, man, Wolverine is 5'3" in the comic books. That's a fact. Our timestamp is 1 hour, 13 minutes, and 17 seconds. Still a long way. So, this scene reminds me of why does this scene remind me of the Suicide Squad? Sinavok says Topper Grace, Eddie Brock from Spider-Man 3. Yeah, that guy's Topper Grace. He's quite uh, s- slim, skinny. He would have made a good Peter Parker, though. But Topper Grace from that 70s show. Timestamp is 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 37 seconds. This reminds me really of the Suicide Squad from James Gunn. Same, same setting. Brogu says they should have an actor at the right height to play Wolverine. The original Wolverine was not very tall. In fact, he was a regular height, if not shorter. Short guys need to have a role model too. Actually, he's 5'3" in the comics. He's as tall as this Canadian singer I know, David Ruiz. Basically, same buff body shape, but and same height. I'm a bit taller than David when I first saw him. One difference is no stupid music. Yeah, right? You notice that? The music in the Suicide Squad is crap, while the music here is basically better somehow, but it's still a flop. Icarus flying. He's going to do his Superman thing. At least there's a score. Actually, they did the score. It's no pop music uh, or classic music, which sometimes is irritating to hear. Somehow, Icarus's power is more uh, his vision power plus flight. And yeah, every Eternal has some sort of super strength. Yeah, we agree. This fight scene is really long, right? It's longer than needed. They should have cut the time of this scene. That deviant is absorbing their energy, life force. Yeah, at least they explained this in the movie. Anything that can be explained in the movie is not worth watching, right? That's why I love BVS. It's all there. Sinavok says, I actually like the longer fight scenes, shows the struggles of the Eternals. Yeah, well, Hercules should have been an Eternal, but his appearance in Thor: Love and Thunder is somewhat uh, I don't know, either irritating. Gilgamesh is being absorbed. That deviant is Crow. Yes, all who reads the Eternal comic books know that Crow is the Eternal to to beat. He's evolving. They just want to survive. Each emergence is costing them something. You're not saviors, you're murderers. Man, This is good. Crow is like a fallen one. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Life imitates art and vice versa. Yes. And we get, is Gilgamesh dead? Looks like it. The Gilgamesh song, as seen in the Sumerian tablets. Yeah, he died. Somehow, an immortal, an eternal dies. Yeah. So, what happens now if DEI will be obsolete? Those punks there are just changing the rules. The Epic of Gilgamesh. Brogu says, I didn't realize how long this movie was. We were going through like an hour and 20 minutes, and we still have an hour or 20 minutes to go. Yeah, this movie is long. This should have been cut to about almost 2 hours. There are lots of wasted moment. I'm I'm glad you said that. They changed the rules. Yes, they did. All those DEI folks just changed their job descriptions. They're still there, right? Man. And uh it seems that a lot of people are defying Trump openly. Although we're just a few days in this new Trump administration, we'll see. Sinavok, nope, the runtime is good. It should have been longer and showed more of the pantheons of gods. Sylvian Isaac. What the hell? That's Superman. We're in the Bronze Age now. This is Fatos. Man, this is Marvel taking a swipe out of DC. Are they planning? Looks like Marvel's planning for that crossover eventually. Okay. Tea's almost gone, and it's not hot anymore. Man, population control is part of that agenda. They've been doing this for years. Yeah, I need to get a refill too. Population control, they've been doing this for eons. 285 million years plus. Sound soundtrack sucks really. And yeah, DEI. This is so much gay shit. They're going to Iraq. Iraq. This is where Makari is. That's why Crimea is a hot spot right now. Yeah, there's something there. That's why Zack Snyder wanted the Crimean War in his script for Wonder Woman. Iraq is old Sumeria, Mesopotamia, and Babylon. Yep, that's true. The cradle of civilization. Remember, Blade 3 also featured Mesopotamia, the root of Dracula, the vampire nation. Well, correct. Now you're starting to get a better picture. Macari's there. Excalibur, man. The ebony blade, of course, is the Black Knight's weapon, and Dane Whitman is going to be the Black Knight. Sinavok says Transylvania is actually originally part of Sumeria. I'm drinking a margarita, says Brogu. Yep, we're Sin Havoc is drinking coffee while I'm drinking tea. Red tea for that matter. And yes, the ebony blade. There were two Black Knight in Marvel Comics. During the 60s, they have the villainous Black Knight, and then there's Dane Whitman, a member of the Avengers. Dane Whitman is supposed to be in Project Excalibur. So what happened to Project Excalibur? Sin would have been good. The alignment, the Unimind is that concept in Excalibur. No, not Excalibur. In the Eternals is it's what Jack Kirby has been thinking of all those years. Sin Havoc says delayed and because Secret Invasion wasn't good. So Sam Jackson didn't get to save Secret Invasion after all. I wonder why. The convergence is a type of alignment. I think there's a sort of convergence happening this year. Alignment of stars. My daughter mentioned something like that to me a few days ago. It would have been great if Zack Snyder was uh, to incorporate the new gods somehow. But those antis are so full of shit. And remember, uh, in making Man of Steel and BVS, Zack quoted John Campbell. Yes, Sinavok says yes. There's is at least two, sometime in the spring and summer. That's technically something to look forward to. That alignment, and I remember us what doing the uh, our last watch along, Jupiter Ascending. I was I wanted to buy a telescope just because. Icarus knows that the end of the world is nigh. Icarus, of course, is taken from the name Icarus from Greek legends. Aside from uh, aside from Game of Thrones, the other roles Richard Madden had was from Cinderella and also that spy series from Netflix. I forgot the name. Man, will this cosmic alignment, this convergence happen during the equinox or when? Icarus was actually a fallen Pleiadian and took the Athenian title. Yeah, yep. The story of Icarus, as we know, he came close to the sun and got his wings clipped. Icarus flew too close to the sun. Yeah, man, the Eternal movie is like a history lesson. Honestly, so the accent of Richard Madden is is that Scottish or Irish? Ajax just betrayed the rest of the Eternals. Scroll timestamp 1 hour 40 minutes and 41 seconds. Brogu said, watching this movie with you guys is not that bad. It's a lot better than what when I first saw this movie. Did you watch this movie solo, Brogu? I remember watching this movie for my one-time watch as a solo. Watching the DVD, I totally was out of it. I became more observant with this second watch. My knowledge of the Eternals came from book sale. Those 1976 issues were really a sight to read. That was when Jack Kirby returned to Marvel. Salma Hayek is so beautiful. I remember her role as the vampire in From Dusk Till Dawn. Those are classic comics, said Sinavok. Brogu said, I watched it by myself and I remember thinking this movie really sucks. Well, you probably need another set of eyes to have a different pros- perspective of this movie. Now he's guilty. Yep, of course. He's the one who killed Ajax. So I'm waiting for all these issues to be resolved in the real world. Somehow, my perspective on politics has been different this last few years. I was a classic liberal, but now I'm not. So weird. As Sin and I were talking yesterday when we watched my recorded stream, the custodians are everywhere. Brogu said, I think the older that I get, I'm starting to accept things for what they are. Even if a movie is terrible, I try to find something entertaining in it so as to have a good time watching it. Yeah, even if the movie sucks, like the the Suicide Squad, the Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2 and Part 3, you find something to be thankful for. Man, lightning coming out of a volcano is like something that happened in real life. I remember uh, when Taal volcano was erupting. I think it's 2 years ago or last year. The same lightning, man. Tiamut, of course. Is Icarus a bad guy? Man, Icarus is going wild. The Emergence. Ha, yeah. Icarus killed her. Do you think it's easy to live with the truth? Man, that's a real statement. I think this is the the difference between us DC fans and Marvel fans in general. We we appreciate these kinds of stories. Brogu said it's always fun watching a movie with friends because even if the movie sucks, you're having a good time talking with your friends, and that actually can make the movie not that bad in a weird way. Yeah. And Sin Havoc says that's called disclosure. Icarus dropped a bombshell. And Brogu says, plus margaritas always make a movie better. They made an evil Superman, a live version of Superman. Man, Marvel is such a, I don't know, man. I, what's the name? That's Shamot, of course, is the celestial being. Sinabo Sprite has a dagger with Cersei's name on it. The dagger is written in Japanese and Sumerian. Man, you're such an observant watcher. Sin, I wish that Zack Snyder could have finished his storyline. Man, that would been that would have been dope. And the version we watch in his Justice League stories is not his original uh, vision at all. Sinavok says people really didn't understand this movie at all. Yeah, that much is true. But considering the budget and the box office, I think Nah, it flopped. Sinavok says there's a lot of hidden messages from the old world. Sometimes Marvel produces exciting things, an exciting movie, but their fans have not understood the messages that the movies were all about. Man, 156 minutes is a long movie. I see that statue. It has old world flat earth elements. Yeah, well, the Babylonians portray the world as flat, the earth as flat, and somehow there are some Christians who agree with that, but the earth is oval, almost round. The earth is a lot bigger than what we were told. It's called the expanding earth theory. Yeah, we started this big, then it expanded, and somehow people are discovering the hollow earth or the middle earth. Yeah, the shape of the earth is more like a pear. Could be with all the rotating it's been doing throughout the years. Remember when I told you about the Perry Reese maps? Yes, I remember, and I just got the review of something I read earlier today, or was it last night? Yeah, much more lands and oceans. Yes, that's true. This is what the Bible was saying, that the water came from underground. Where did that come from, right? To flood the earth like that. Where? So that's why I hold the Middle Earth or Hollow Earth theory as not fiction anymore. Tina versus Icarus. The Bible came from the old books. Probably did. And as I mentioned earlier, the book of Enoch was mentioned in the New Testament in the Epistle of Jude. Yeah. Why mention it at all, right? If it's not uh, an actual thing. It's a rectangular shaped ship, right? And see, if you saw all these documentaries about this cylinder entering the solar system, my God. Sinabok says actually the New Testament is the Old Testament, and the Old Testament is the New Testament. Yeah. Brogu said Christopher Lee came to me in a dream last night and told me that James Gunn's Superman would the flop would be the flop of all flops. Yes, it would be the flop. This is why uh, WBD is quite quiet. They know. Yes, I saw. And of course, play that clip.
You see this all the time at the level of a top producer who, between them or separately, will make flop after flop after flop after flop. I'm not going to name them, but I know who they are. And they're not all American either. And they still get paid huge sums of money for being in films that nobody wants to see. And producers make pictures out of which they take enormous sums of money. And the films, again, are not films people want to see. They're always going to blame somebody else. Always. Not their fault. No, 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 you were the one who said, or whatever. And there's a word for that. It's called upward failure. You see it all the time.
Upward failure. Yes, the flop is gonna be real. Sinavok said it's called upward failure. We see it all the time. Yes, we see it all the time. Our timestamp is oh, we reached the 2 hour limit and 16 seconds. This film is best categorized as an art film or at best a historical film to study prehistory. Actually, my wife plays movies about the subject of economics, and sometimes she does the uh, contemporary world. She featured in her class such classic as Schindler's List and Steven Seagal's On Deadly Ground. That's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I think I have an input on what film she plays for the students. Those are decent. Examples. Yeah. Tina versus Crow. And I feel like Ajax is alive. Man, that's weird. It's Sprite actually, not Ajax. Sprite stab uh Cersei. No. Weird, man. Sprite is a shapeshifter. And there's that dagger with Cersei's name on it. The spelling of Cersei in Eternals, same as the comic, starts with an S. Circe in mythology starts with a C. The one in Creature Commandos is not Cersei. Barry Keoghan, uh, the Joker in the Batman who helps you goes to sleep. Originally, I thought Angelina Jolie was supposed to play Cersei, but probably she wanted to play Wonder Woman. Psh, the seduction of Tina. Man, slice and dice. Man, our timestamp is 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 32 seconds. This is, man, those are fingers. I feel like, uh, what's the name of that giant Transformers? A celestial being, a celestial giant coming from beneath the earth. Yeah, Unicron. See the hand. Man, that stuff is real. That that celestial is in the comics the Avengers base. And Icarus changed his mind. He can't do it. He can't kill Cersei. Tiamat will become the island of Genosha. So in the X-Men, uh, this basically will be Genosha, right? Chamot. Brogu said, in the original animated Transformer movies, I believe Unicron's voice was done by Orson Welles. The voice was so beautiful. I remember it to this day. Yes, it was. Yes, it was Orson Welles. And Sinhavoc says also we'll have adamantium. Ah man, I hope they make the X-Men really cool again. And we have D Broderick in the chat. Hey, what's good? You all remember when the Transformers were in Marvel with G.I. Joe? Yes, we do, man. Originally, both of them, G.I. Joe and Transformers, were Marvel titles. Now I think it's in IDW, right? Or Image, or what? D Broderick in the house. We're watching uh, the Eternals movie, and our timestamp for is 2 hours, 11 minutes, and 15 seconds. Hey, what's up, D Broderick? Man, this is dope, man. Although this movie flopped hard. They blame the pandemic for this movie to flop. But we all know what happened with No Way Home. Was it No Way Home? Spider-Man. Yeah, No Way Home. And that looks like Galactus. Honestly, Galactus is a celestial. Sinavok says that image of Tiamat looks like Galactus. Yes, it does. So the Fantastic Four is inbound this year. This year, right? We'll see Galactus and the Silver Surfers. The Heralds of Galactus is not just the Silver Surfer. There's also Fire Lord. There's also the one with the axe, and there's Miss Marvel's character. Miss Mar- Captain Marvel's character. Sin Havoc says Fantastic Four, First Steps, and the X Men coming soon. Brogu says, speaking of G.I. Joe, there was a 24/7 YouTube channel that shows G.I. Joe all the time. I have subscribed to it and need to go and want some of it. Tenobora. Yep. Sin Havoc says Tenobora. Tiamut joined the Unimind. Yeah. So I'm guessing that all those islands emerging from the South Pacific, could it be something else? This is when facts and fiction becomes one. Could be. Yep, could be. Timestamp 2 hours 15 minutes 20 seconds. The islands in the Philippines are being contested by a lot of countries. And Sinavo says, or it could be Lemuria emerging. Yeah, I know, man. Lemuria or Atlantis. The continent of Atlantis is so large. Yeah. Brogu says that spell check is killing me. What spell check? I really wish they did a new gods film. Actually, Atlantis was the whole planet, says Sinavok. And somehow Tina is testing out the toaster. Sinhavoc says a new Gods movie would be awesome. Yeah, could have been. Would have been. Remember that series on CW from Brian Michael Bendis? I think it was not cool. Yeah, she messed up still. The kid is 10, not stupid. No, not Legends of Tomorrow. The other guy, that other one that was created by Brian Michael Bendis. And it was supposed to have Superman appear, and it has this Tanagarian warrior, blah blah blah. Man, Naomi, it sucked. Could have been better, but Brian Michael Bendis is overrated. The main fault of Brian Michael Bendis was exposing Clark Kent's identity to the world, and it took about 1 year or 2 years to have everything back to normal in the comics. It's it was a bad idea from the get go. Legends of Tomorrow was good the first 2 or 3 seasons. All the rest is like Comedy Central. Yeah. Powers? I think I didn't watch Powers. That was from Marvel, right? So Dane Whitman is professing love for Cersei. In the comics, he was mind controlled by Cersei, honestly. No more secrets. The Black Knight. Turns out my family secrets are sick, complicated. What? So, like ZSJL, this movie has an open ended ending. Arashan. Yep, he's mad. Arashan. Man. And two credit scenes. Yeah. I'm waiting for the mid credit scenes and the post credit scene. One mid credit and the other end credit scenes. This is what Marvel did in the whole 20 years plus they did the MCU, and his casting judgment. Yep, directed by Chloé Zhao. Let's forward this movie to the mid-credit scene. We're in. We're entering the mid-credit scene. Brogu scared. People saw Arasham. You'll see all fountains of the gods. Yep, Eternals. There's no the. I keep calling Eternals the Eternals. So this is the mid uh, credit scene. Makari, the Domo in the credits, yes. And Tina and the person who's about to enter Sin Havoc is right. Thanos' brother, Eros, the Star Fox, are their post credits in this movie. Yes, there's a mid credit scene and there's ending credit scene. It's Pip the Troll. Pip the Troll means Adam Warlock, the Prince of Titan, brother of Thanos, is Star Fox. Eos. I still have 15 minutes and it's going through the end credits. And freaking singer, of course, Thanos is an eternal. We all know that. Eros, Pip the Troll. Okay, that's the mid credit scene. Now I'm skipping through the end credits scene. I can't remember if I watched this end credit scene at all during my first watch. The end credit is Dane Whitman opening the ebony blade. There it is. The ebony blade. The ebony blade of the Dark Knight. The Black Knight. And Marshall Ali's blade. Wait, this is Blade's blade? That's the voice of Mahershala Ali. And it's just not seen but heard. Man, that was awesome. Good movie. It's a good movie. And yes, do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. And this was a fun streaming. Thank you, Brogu and Sin Havoc, for staying, and all those who was here earlier. Brogu said, my favorite post-credit scene was in Deadpool and Wolverine when Johnny was talking all that shit about Cassandra. That was one of the funniest moments in the whole movie. So, what good movie? What's your rating? I rate it as 8.5 over 10. How about you, Sin Havoc? This is a great movie. 8 over 10 for me. Yes, Sin, thank you. How about you, Brogu? This is a cool movie. Anyway, yep, 8 over 10 for Brogu. And yep, like, subscribe, and share this movie. Enjoy the weekend, guys. And we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same Hawk channel, the Qatar Law podcast. Enjoy.
Now my mind is clearer now, at last all too well. I can see where we all soon will be. If you strip away the myth from the man, you will see where we all soon will be. Jesus, you started to believe the things they say of you. You really do believe this talk of God is true, and all the good you've done will soon get swept away. You've begun to matter more than the things you say. Listen, Jesus, I don't like what I see. All I ask is that you listen to me, and remember I've been your right hand man all along. You have set them all on fire. They think they found the new Messiah, and they'll hurt you when they find they're wrong. I remember when this whole thing began. No talk forgotten how put down we are. I am frightened by the crowd, for we are getting much too loud, and they'll crush us if we go too far. If they go too far. Listen, Jesus, to the warning I give. Please remember that I want us to live, but it's sad to see our chances weakening with every hour. All your followers are blind. Too much heaven on their minds. It was beautiful, but now it's sour. Yes, it's all gone sour. Listen, Jesus, to the warning I give. Please remember, I want us to live. Come on, come on, come on. He won't listen to me. Come on, come on. He won't listen to me.